inside out. You make my heart beat, need no one else. You're all I need. Personality, everything you do, it's me love, everything about you. Your smile.
All right, let's see. Let's bring up our guests. They're already in here.
Hey,
Hey, what's good?
Hey,
what's going on?
what's going on? Oh, look at it. What's going on? So she the funny one, you the serious one.
Match. I mean, if you go for our reels, we can we switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, I was definitely about to say you are the funny one in my eyes because I saw the last Triller when you was acting out while she was talking. I cried laughing. Like it was amazing. It was amazing, man.
We're great.
How y'all feeling?
We're happy to be, sitting with you this evening. We're honored to be on your platform. So thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. A pleasure to be here. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see, man. I want to launch into the questions that I do have for you guys. You guys have been on this social media thing for some time. I wonder, as you've maneuvered, what do you feel like has been the biggest transition phase for you? As you've acquired the knowledge and grown your
well, I'll let her start because she's been on longer than I'll follow up.
Well, for me, being an actress and a singer-songwriter for many years, I was a singer-songwriter first, signed independently before independent was the popular way to go when MySpace music. And then I kind of fell into acting, and I was blessed to do that, but I didn't ever, it wasn't like a social media connect for me. Let me grow social media. It kind of came organically along the way where I saw, okay, we had Facebook, we had Instagram, then we had TikTok. I was kind of, in my opinion, late to the game with social media. But now that we have creator contracts with Triller, the app that competes heavily with TikTok and Instagram Reels, but Triller allowed us to explore our creativity even more. And him being a fitness trainer, and he also works in pest control, when we started dating, he wasn't ever trying to get into the social media in the way that he is now. Yeah. But we started to just do stuff together because we're both goofy and corny. Yeah. And then now he really started drinking the Kool-Aid and liking it. And I said, no, this is fun. Let's take that to another level and spread some Black love, but also bring that wholesomeness to it that I think is sometimes missing in couple creativity. And so kind of never look back. Once the Triller opportunity came for Black creators, we really seized it. I said, I asked Triller, I said, I don't want it just for Noelle Bellinghausen. I'm married. Can we also do a couples contract? And then her hubby, and he's been killing me.
And that's my transition into it is, I have my personal account, my fitness account. And so I did a lot of fitness videos and was comfortable with that. But she really brought out the inner goofy, but it's do anyways. Whenever we kick it and hang out, we're always cracking jokes or having a good time for the most part. And so
you don't get me, kicking them out the house. No, I'm playing. You don't get me kicking them out the house on them. You know,
he was like, I know you're lying on someone, but that's been my transition is when I got married, fell in love. Even before that, we created some content, but it's been a wonderful transition. She's a great director. She's a great editor. She's a great actress. So I'm really getting the icing on the cake from it. So I'm enjoying the ride.
Well, thank you for listening to the directions, because a lot of men don't want to listen. So
he said this is communication as well, so I had to learn how to learn early.
Hey, you know what? I have so many jump off points from everything that you guys just said. Well, I'm going to take the first one. I hope you had a fit day.
So just,
I love that you know that.
I didn't even know. Wow, that's pretty good.
Very good.
I really was I guess I'll give my explanation. I really didn't want to get on an app you know, I don't know, I was on blackpeoplemeet.com back in the day. And right before, oh, right. So, but they paired me with my cousin, was my perfect match. So I got off. I was like, my cousin, like you couldn't find somebody else. So I didn't like the online dating. So my nephew again was like, hey, Unc, you need to get on the app because there's so many opportunities and I think you'll do well. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
And again, like I told on the Steve Harvey show, I was like, I swiped right. And about 20 minutes into it, I seen her and I grabbed both my hands, swiped and was like, man, because she's so beautiful. And I just wanted to lob the question. Like, all right, just wanted to lob the question out there. Hope you had a fit day because I saw her profile hiking. So that's the first thing that came on.
Yeah, I had a fit day. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit on this one. And had a fit
on that one. You let
but I'm going to let you wait before I tell you that.
Right. That's I wonder, like, why is that the inclination to go to when it, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna let him, because like for guys and for ladies, I believe, you know, we're all taught like, hey, let him wait, you know, let him, you know, let it marinate, like we food, like it doesn't, you know. I wonder, why is that something that, you know, why is that the advice, like? You know, what are y'all thoughts on that?
Dating is a different kind of dating, right? Yeah. So, you know, had we met out and in person and he came over to me and sparked a conversation and asked me a question, I'm obviously not going to say, hold on, let me get back to you. I'll let you know in 10 minutes how my day was, you know. But online, you know, it just depends on your experience. You have to be very patient online. Oh, yeah. You know, you can swipe with someone and you guys seem to be having this amazing conversation before you hear their voice, before you know if they're really single, their pictures, just everything. You can be so caught up in this online texting conversation. And I think, you know, for me, again, if you are, you know, I'm sure you're matching with a lot of females as well. So it gets overwhelming if you have a lot of matches and then everybody's talking and chatting. You're trying to answer everybody. And it's like, okay, you know, I don't want to, you know, I don't think anybody wants to appear thirsty online and dating online. So it wasn't so much like, I'm playing a game, I'm not going to answer him. It was just more so, okay, like, I don't want to get too excited. I just want to let me ease into the conversation. And it was very natural for us. And it just became like, I felt comfortable soon, like giving him the Google number and then regular, you know, it's a process.
Then the real, how excited were you guys when you realized, like, oh my God,
well, you know, that's she remembers it differently, because I had just brought this up a couple days ago.
What?
The first time we FaceTime,
right?
She said I was on the couch, and I'm like, no.
I didn't say the couch. No, he was trying to have an angle to be cute, and I just was like.
But that wasn't the first time we FaceTimed, though. The first time we FaceTimed was when she went to the beach. I remember it.
If I had a roster, I don't remember all this. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just to clarify.
Okay, I don't remember that, but go ahead, man. You remember.
Where they at now?
Nowhere.
So, I think what maybe stood me out was she was talking about a cleanse that she was on. So she had her smoothie.
Yeah, I was on my cleanse.
And that day, I don't think she got to her smoothie in time, or she didn't blend it. So I just I cashed out her. I said, go ahead and get yourself a smoothie, and just let the little coins hit her phone. And after that, about an hour after FaceTime, then she found out I was in catfish. So I was actually in the car, kind of like sitting straight. And then the second time I think we FaceTime was when I was at that angle. But the first time was the second time. The second.
You know what?
That's right. Make sure it all.
And you know what I love about, like, because we married now, we can clown each other and make fun of it. But, you know, the things that you don't know in the beginning, like, you know, I ain't going to say he was broke, but it wasn't like money was just falling from the sky to be getting me smooth. know, so at the time, like,
right.
as some women may, and I'm not saying all women, I'm just saying sometimes when a man does something kind, sincere, and it may be like, oh, let me treat you to something that I'm not a part of. I know you like smoothies. Hey, here's some Jamba Juice coins to go get a smoothie. But not knowing that it wasn't like he could just get me 10 smoothies a day if he wanted to. It was actually like, you know, that was a budgeting thing for him to do. So, you know, it's nice when you know that later, the efforts we make when it's right.
It was smoothie.
Anyway, oh, he got it. Be a lot of that.
Hey, yo, come here. Hey, yo, come here. Hey, yo, we clipping this part and we upload this preview. Real quick, you know, there was you know, in your like in your most recent trailer, you know, like I said, the one that I watched, defending your wife. You know, we saw a recent example of that, and I wonder, what are your thoughts, you know, as far as time and place versus no, like it doesn't matter, like wherever, whenever, you know, where does your mindset go as it pertains to, and I'm not just talking about that situation in particular, I'm really talking about overall, like, hey, like, you know, I defend my wife wherever, whenever, from whomever, or, you know, is it like, hey, this is a time and place thing, like, hey, I might not be able to get you now, but I'll get you later. What do y'all
I guess I can start. I definitely was raised to be a protector of my wife. You know, I've seen my father do that for my mom the best way he knew how. I think that there's levels to protecting and defending your wife. And she even said that in the skit. It was like, I'll give you the go ahead so that you don't get locked up, because defending your wife is making sure that you're still able to be present to do so.
Right after the fact.
Yeah, so I think defending in as far as like hands is an extreme case. I believe that defending or de-escalating the situation is probably the best. I definitely felt, you know, him on that evening, but he probably had a lot of other things going on in his heart and his mind. But also, you know, had a level of empathy for, you know, Chris as well, because every time I've watched Chris, he's always capped on anybody.
Yeah.
But I would say definitely there always is a time and the place if need be. You know what I'm saying? If I got a defender, I'm going to. But I would love to, as I'm even growing, to be more of a defender with de-escalating the situation, because I think that makes you feel more secure, right?
Yeah, and like Ryan said, you know, a lot of times when people react physically right away, it's other things going on, unless that's just your level of turn up all the time. Like you're just easily perturbed and that's how you respond. But as you get older, you learn, like, I can't slap everybody. You know, I can't react the way I want to everybody. So, you know, you just have to, again, think about the long-term effects. And again, like, specifically with them, they were at the Oscars. It was public. It was on TV. They're obviously not strangers. They obviously know each other. They're both comedians in their own lane. Right. And with us growing as a couple and our brand growing, and right now we get a lot of love. Yeah. We're not always going to get that. And there's going to be bots and trolls and randoms saying whatever they say. Right. And we just have to keep it in perspective and what is really worth addressing and why. So before you want to go there with somebody, you know, check in with me, you know, and I'm gonna check in with you before I want to, you know, put hands on any. I'm a black belt, so I can't just. It's a felony if I'm not defending myself. I can't just, you know, to anybody. So we check in. We gotta.
Hey, if that kid would have fell over, hey,
you know, but I gotta know the distance. I can't go there. Right. So we just agreed, like, let's check in with each other when it comes to defending the other. And again, unless it's extreme and we don't have time to think, and we both gotta, you know. Yeah.
I love the fact that you guys will defend each other. That really, like, that, honestly speaking, like, it makes my heart knowing that's a thing, you know, that you know, in this world, because it seems as if like I know there's a great onus on men to make sure that they are the protector, the things of that nature, but it's the fact that, you know, hey, like, I got your back, you got my back. Like, to be able to be in a situation like that, like I said,
Right.
random, I know, it warms my heart, and I love that for y'all. Like, uh, I want to ask a couple more things in there.
Yes, it's fun.
Okay, so, you know, you once said being married took everything to the next level, right? That is, well, and Ryan, I got a quote from you as well, and because
You're really
I'll be
good
doing the
at your
research, man.
listen, you are really good.
Hey, I appreciate that. You know, being married took everything to the next level. I wonder, you know, was this a part of your thought process as far as like for looking for that within a partner, or was this something that you feel like, hey, this is just a bonus, you know, as it pertains to like, hey, you know, because I mean, of course, everyone has like a certain criteria, right? As it pertains to like looking for someone to be with, but was that like, okay, I'm looking for someone that can actually help take my dreams to the next level, or was that just like, oh, it just so happened to be built into this amazing package next to me?
That's a good question.
I've been self-reliant for a while. I come from a family of strong women. All the women worked. They all, you know, took care of their family. And even the elders, when came time, be like, my mom takes care of her mom. My aunt takes care of my grandma. So when I looked at finding a life partner, I wanted somebody that was loving and supportive to me. Like, I don't want to run everything. I don't want to be in charge of everything. I want someone that can take the load off of my shoulders in a you know, that masculine energy that I needed. Because again, strong women, sometimes we are so strong and we get some backlash for being strong, when it's like, just because I'm strong doesn't mean I don't have feelings and I'm not sensitive and I don't cry. I'm still a woman. So I just wanted someone that could come in and be really loving towards me. And taking it to the next level happened to be just a bonus that I did not anticipate. You know, Ryan was in fitness. I like to work out, but I'm not in the fitness industry. Ryan has control. I hate bugs, so great. You know, you know.
Bonus.
But like, I like how supportive he was from day one. You know, being that we were in a pandemic and having to self-tape a lot, I had a reader, you know, who got to come in and be like, okay, let me read the script behind the camera. And then he really getting into it. And I got to tell him, babe, like, just read regular. Like, you ain't got to change your voice to a kid's voice. Like, just be, you know. And then from a serious perspective, you know, I didn't know I was going to lose my dad within a month, not even a month, 3 weeks of us being married. After my dad walked me down the aisle, I didn't know I was going to lose my father. So to have, like, the next level is not just the next level in career. It's the next level in growth. It's the next level of, okay, I'm going to have life without my dad. Thank God he saw me get married and he got to meet him and approve of him. And I have someone to support me through that type of grief. You know, so it's just so much that I feel when you find that person, it is so worth it, because there's things you don't see coming. Good things, like I didn't see Triller coming with a deal for me. It just happened to come while we were married. And I said, okay, well, let me parlay my husband into this, because if you giving me one, give us one. You see what I'm saying? So from a next level, I just feel like love, when it's divine, and it's like, I don't believe that we just chose each other on an app. I think God was like, I know what you need. What you want is what you need. And what we want, sometimes we don't always see it from the heart right away, because we're human. I'm looking at what the package looked like and what it sound like, but God be like, no, I know what you need. Trust me. So that's, for me, what it meant for the next level for me.
And my takeaway from that is just briefly, the growth that I experienced and am experiencing, that you can only get in a good relationship with a good woman or a good spouse, you know. And so it's like, there are issues that I had from a, you know, being transparent from a kid and the household I was raised, the insecurities, man, like it doesn't show like that on when we have the good time, you know, filming these things, but it's real, like, you know, struggling with you know, like I said, insecurities and you know, things that sometimes men are not really open to talk about, but a lot of men deal with things, and a good woman can really help give you some tough love. You know, I'm the baby of 8 siblings, 8 kids, and
I have a question about that, but continue, please.
So I'm just so thankful because I that's the benefit that I'm getting in her patience to be able to deal with my growth, you know what I'm saying, and the things that make me more of a transparent person and not a people pleasing thing. I still struggle with that, but I recognize it, and I'm saying, like, you know what, I don't really need validation like I thought I did. But there's, and it's not just men, but there's so many men that's like, oh, I gotta hold it down, and they're masking these emotions that can only come out, I think, within a relationship. So, you know, it's not always the best thing to talk about to the public eye, but I'm getting to a point where I don't care, and I realize that more men can benefit from you know, being real. Like, you know, you don't have it all together, you know what I'm saying, and it's okay to allow a good woman to, hey, say, this is what's got to change, you know, this is what has to. So I've benefited in a short period of time so much in my internal growth, and wanted to continue in that vein, you know, so that we can keep it out going, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I love it. You know, transparency and you know, within a relationship, I feel like is in fact is one of the building blocks of it, right? And not only transparency, but also communication, effective communication. What do you guys feel like makes communication effective within your
so
household?
this is for all marriages. If you're not married, this is the truth. It's always going to be evolving, and effective is always going to be getting better and better. A person can, I believe you can grow in effective communication, but you're going to fail. And I think that if you realize that you're going to fail, it takes the pressure off of trying to always have effective communication, because again, there are issues that come into the relationship, baggages in different forms. So where she's an amazing communicator, you know, I'm more of a, I could get defensive, and I have to realize, okay, this is not coming from Noelle, this is coming from something that I need to deal with, which is leading towards effective communication. But had I not failed to where she was like, you better get your together, you know what I'm saying? Not always like that, but
open your mouth and talk to me. What? You know.
But that effective communication is recognizing that you're always going to be growing. And then I think it's more of an individual within a relationship that says, you know what, I need to make sure that I'm always working on me so that I can respond accordingly. And I think that adds a lot more good times and good days, you know, in marriage, especially since we hang out pretty much all the time.
Yeah, you know, communication is my strong point. I like to ask questions. I don't want to just go with my own, what I think is going on, and being in tune with him and caring about him. If I sense something is wrong, you know, I will ask. I understand, like, I don't want to nag you. I don't want to, you know, get on your nerves and interrogate you with questions. But he also knows who he married. He married someone that will get to the bottom of something. And if we're arguing or there's something that seems real surface, like, what's really going on? And even in areas of finance, that's another area that's attacked a lot in relationships, because you can have a lot of money one year and experience a loss in another year. You know, finances can change. change. That also can be a difficult area to talk about when, especially we're both entrepreneurs. So he's growing the pest control side, his fitness company, you know, it's just, it can be a lot on a man who wants to be a provider. Right. It can be a lot on a woman who, you know, again, I've always provided for myself. So, you know, sometimes certain subjects are just harder to talk about. Right. Depends on your relationship. So, you know, I just tell him, and I told him the other day, you know, I would rather you proactively communicate. Like, right. I don't, you know, if something is coming up and you kind of know, you know, we've been married not that long, but we've been together over a year now. So, you know, if we talking about bills, you know, a bill is coming up on the first, if it's rent, you know, let's talk, you know, it's coming. So if I ask you about something coming up and you get a little defensive about it, it's like, well, if you would just proactively bring up whatever it is that's coming up, it just kind of helps. Yeah. But again, we get to a place where he learns, like, I'm not asking you to make you feel any kind of way.
And that goes back to me making sure that I am responding correctly. Because as men, we want, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna slide you that, you know, because I'm working on it. But that just, in the long run, it doesn't work out, because marriage just really strips you of singleness, and you really have to get selfishness. That's marriage. Woo. No matter how you slice it, you know what I'm saying. And we, you know, I had an idea of marriage, she had an idea of marriage, but marriage is a beautiful strip down of yourself and your own ways, and selfishness, and it's a beautiful combination of, okay, what is it together? And as we're learning and just being sponges the best way we can, that we get humbled real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure, real both quick. Of us, and it always comes back to, hey, we're the best when we're on the same page, and that's real.
It's worth working out.
It's absolutely.
I like that, man. We're the best when we're on the same page. That's real. I know not every relationship is perfect, right? But to be able to be that comfortable with your partner and be able to recognize these things, right? To have someone that speaks life into you, stimulates growth, as well as, is able to be corny with you as well. That's amazing. That honestly is. I'm gonna just keep throwing these random compliments. I like what I see. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, oh man, Ryan, like any brother would, you have to see marriage as an investment. You know, you've talked about quite a few things inside this conversation already, but I wonder if there's anything else that you can touch on that would, how else do you make sure that your investment?
That's a really good question. Benefits? I mean, because if there's no investment, then there's no reward, right? So that's the foundation. Like, if you don't try, if you don't shoot your shot, if those things don't happen, then you're guaranteed to get no returns. I think so it's a factor of so many different things. It's definitely the way that you believe and how you view life. I also believe that, you want to make the best investment. I really believe that a person's friends and family will give you another, just like, okay, so if I just put it in like financial terms, it's like, what is this investment going to bring me? What is it doing now? How is it going to hit the market? Who else has invested? So all of these factors, like her family, her friends, what she has going for herself, how we relate on when we're not always happy.
How's my credit?
How's my credit?
Yeah. Right. I mean, sorry, you said fine.
She took a risk. She took a risk with me. But that's hard, right? So there's no sure. There's even when you pray about it, you know what I'm saying? What I did. God is still saying faith. You still got to have faith, because, you know what I'm saying, you still got to lean on me to let it pan out. so I think it's a combination of a lot of different factors, but as long as you, and even if it didn't work out, like I've had relationships obviously that didn't work out, doesn't mean that I didn't try, but I was always hopeful, because all you need is that one investment to work, and then your whole life changes. So
Right.
I never stopped investing. I have moments of, you know, I have my cry, you know what I'm saying, my cry, you know what I'm saying? We all had that breakup. If you have had one where you had to get the emotion, that really hurt you.
Yeah.
But I didn't give up. And because I believe I didn't give up, I came across my best investment, and it's yielding results that I couldn't even imagine. And the best is yet to come. So that's just to be hopeful when with shooting a shot and dating, just to be hopeful. Yeah, things may have broken up, things may have happened in your past. Sometimes it takes time to get over. You know, you don't want to get into a rebound situation, but you know, at the end of the day, when you finally get yourself in order to some degree, then you can get that investment, and then a relationship will end up changing you, because there's things that you can't change when you're single.
Yeah.
That only a relationship can change. So that's, you know, I hope that kind of got to the point and wasn't all over the place.
You know, you touched, like I said, man, you hit some good points in there. And honestly, you got me tearing up, because I'm like, dang, I'm about to go download Slack and find my wife.
Can I just
Goddamn.
put a little plug in that when I announced that we were doing an interview with you, I had, you know, a couple friends inquire if you were single, and I'm talking about how fine you were. I said, I don't know, you know, but it's good to know that sounds like you're single, and because you can get on an app, so yeah. Look at him.
We got you.
We the books of
you take them.
okay.
Send this about. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just I didn't mean to throw you off. Go ahead. Next.
Yeah. Let me keep. All right, y'all. So let's talk about your goals, right? You know, where do your goals differ, and where do they align? And, you know, what does motivation look like within the household, you know, as far as like the differences go?
Wow.
That's a good question. Our goals are aligning more and more.
Yeah.
So we definitely came in with goals, obviously, as individuals, but you find out that it kind of works.
They were different.
They're different, but it kind of comes.
Yeah.
So, for example, she's an amazing actress, editor. So she has a company, Grown Woman Media Inc. She's also a singer, so pop stars. Giving shout outs to the companies that she has, and she's currently working in those veins as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the fitness company, Pest Control. But what we came to the conclusion is that the Goins is working. Like, it's obviously manifesting and moving forward, and so we look at it like an umbrella to where we can both, we never want to neglect one another's passions that you have as an individual.
Yeah.
But being married allows you, I believe, to enhance those passions. So the goals kind of still stay the same, but they get more tied in to one another. And so, you know, she likes watching certain shows that, well, we actually like watching the same show. So it's kind of like, I'm trying to figure out what she likes.
You want to watch it more than me?
What's she like different? She don't like killing buzz. I can tell you that's different. That's a different.
Wait. But look, let's bring it in too, because we were talking about like goals, like business and stuff like that. But like, we were different in the sense like where he wanted to live ultimately.
Oh yeah,
what kind of house he wanted, or you know, what kind of car. Like when you start talking about like vision board stuff.
Right.
You know, so we actually just recently did a vision board that we went to like a couples event, and one of the projects there was doing a vision board. And I remember, we're not vision board like crafty people where we want to go find magazines, and some people are really good at that. And I was like, well, I understand the purpose of a vision board, and it'll be a great like little a night where other couples were fellowshipping together, all married different amounts of time. And so, you know, they supplied the arts and crafts. So if we got to get the vision board together. So we're looking through the magazines, and I'm kind of looking at him like, I wonder what kind of stuff he's going to cut out. Like, is he, I know he wants kids, you know, that's been a conversation about wanting children, but then also like, let's get to a financial place where we can, you know, be in a bigger space. Like right now, you know, I love our studio apartment, but again, you want little ones running around. Like the bathtub is the crib right now. Like we gotta, so these goals that you have are also financial goals. And sometimes one comes before the other. And, you know, so your goals do end up, as long as you communicate, they do end up coming together. And from a spiritual perspective, I may have a goal of something that I want to happen that I don't think is going to happen until 3 years from now. And here it is happening. Same with him, like his business, it was a big transition for him to move from Riverside County, Inland Empire to Los Angeles, and how the market of training clients was different here than there. So that was an adjustment where he kind of had to start over and kind of get to know this market. And it was frustrating to not have his personal baby grow to the robust, you know, financial income that he thought it would. So your goals, you know, they shift. You have to be flexible, but still have your eye on the prize. And then communicate what it feels like when you feel like, personally, my goal that I had before I met you is not getting where I thought it would, and it hurts me and it bothers me and it frustrates me. You have to talk about those things, because if you don't, it can eat away at you, and then you don't realize how it's coming out on each other.
Can I say that's a great point, because that brings up the point that marriage becomes a higher goal. So if you wanted to get married, it's not to say that you can't have the goals or ambitions you had before, but like she said, marriage, if you want it to work and you want it's going to take that higher goal, and then both parties have to then, even if it's layer by layer, start
it's a lot of compromising.
You have to start to shift towards what's best for the marriage. And that is a hard. That is, as happy as we are, because we are genuinely happy, some of the toughest moments has been the decisions, and I'll take most of my part, to have to humble myself to say, man, this is not, I can't fit this square into this circle. I have to redirect. Reassess. It doesn't mean that it'll never happen. But and she really helped me out with that, being in this industry. As long as she's been in this industry, it's really, I'm blessed to come into the relationship where she has experienced the disappointment, she says the hurry up and wait.
The hurry up and wait.
And you know, because you're in the industry as well, so I may have to work over here, even though I have to be here, and this seems like it doesn't line up. But that's the raw, real aspect of it. I had to find a liking to kill bugs. Do I want to kill bugs? Not necessarily, but do I want to grow a business? Because you want
that house and car, you better get out there.
I had to change my perspective, but that was marriage. Changed that goal. So so goals, I think marriage is what really makes your goals, again, if they're different, pill by pill, they start. And some goals you just switch easily, but other things that you've held on to, it's not easy to let that go, or to redirect.
That is that is an amazing mindset to have, you know, because for myself, as I look for a partner, you know, I definitely wonder, you know, because, you know, there's one thing that has been talked about, that's been driven home, is about being equally yoked with your partner, right? And in that mindset, you know, I wonder like, oh, okay, well, does that mean that they're supposed to have like the same desires that I have as well? Are they supposed, you know, are they supposed to be at the same place that I am in life? Like, what exactly does that equally yoked mean, you know? So to take from what you guys are saying, because honestly speaking, I'm gonna run this back and really make notes for my own personal life. So thanks, guys. You know, I'm definitely paying attention. You know, I was actually going to go into a question earlier before we were interrupted by whatever Instagram was doing. You know, you guys actually had premarital therapy with one of my frat brothers down in Houston.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, real life Q dogs. Yeah.
Okay, I already know.
Yeah. But couples therapy, premarital counseling, sitting and talking to someone about your relationship comes with negative connotations. Why do you feel that is? And what is it that what do you guys think you guys can do to help change that narrative?
Wow, you know, I didn't realize there were negative connotations that came with that. We actually did do an interview with Carice of 107.5 in Las Vegas, and I remember she mentioned she had premarital, and it didn't matter. It didn't, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I can't speak for everybody. I can only say that we both were willing to talk to someone, a couple who had been married 43 years, who went through a lot of trials in their marriage, all kinds of, not just the basic, not just really life-changing trials. And so also they have obviously a strong belief in God, but not from a religious perspective as far as like what we needed, because we were raised religiously, and then we had to go through life and explore and say, I don't want to be religious. I want to believe in God and be loving and all those things, but I don't want to be condemned. I don't want to be like, I'm going to hell if I don't do this, and sanctified, and I don't want to be perfect. But we were given the homework of reading a book called Sacred Marriage. And from a faith perspective, just understanding like how, you know, you're going to need some type of tools to deal with the stuff that comes up in marriages. And no marriage is perfect. Nobody's going to, you're going to have a moment where you're looking at this person like, I don't know if I want to be married to you anymore. Like, I don't know why I married you. That's just the real. And it doesn't have to be over cheating and major things. It could just be over, it could be over anything that's important to you or triggers you, right? But premarital allowed us to explore our flaws collectively. You know, we both felt like we were pretty ready to get married. We're older. We're not like in our 20s, like, you know, but we knew that we had not been in a marriage together. You know, even Ryan's been married before. He got married young. I've never been married. So just been married before didn't make him an expert at being married. You know, you literally have to go into premarital like, I don't know everything. I don't have it all together. Let me listen to someone, a couple, two people who have been married as long as they have. So when we bring up our differences or things we disagree on, and we think we're so right on to have this stance and this feeling, to hear like, you know what, maybe I need to be a better listener. I need to consider that some of the stuff that I'm upset about really don't have nothing to do with this person. Maybe it's my own stuff, my own childhood. Maybe I need therapy outside of this to be a better partner, a better spouse. So I encourage premarital, but also they gave us homework. So it wasn't like we were just coming there every week and just talk about God and how great, you know, we had to talk about everything from finances to sex, like how we feel about all kinds of things, and learning that, okay, we both can be our best selves when we're honest. And it took time though, like premarital didn't end when we got married. We still will reach out to Pastor Olis Holder and his wife Nikita when we need them. Because things still come up as newlyweds. And I don't think that it ends because you got married. I don't think that just because we were celibate, that made us better for marriage. I think it was a part of it. It was a part of why we could still work things out despite that. But, you know, everybody is different. That's why I think premarital is so helpful when you get the right premarital help.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody didn't have a good experience because of those, whoever was helping them or whatever, but it worked out for us, and I would highly encourage it. And also Sacred Marriage was a good book that helped us out a lot.
And just to touch on that a little bit is going into anything, you know, with the open mind, right? So if you go into premarital, like most people do, excited because you're getting ready to marry, you know, who you fell in love with.
Hopefully you're excited.
Yeah, hopefully
have
excited,
premarital.
Right? But for those that haven't gotten premarital, excitement is great, but the only addition that I add to that is just the listening. Like, be open to listening to what's going to come at you. And we went in there wholeheartedly listening to everything they told us, and that it's the way that's working out now is because I listened, because she listened, they are still willing to
help us when we need them.
Right. So you do need support systems.
Yeah.
So the relationships behind premarital is important. And
because if you're not taking their advice, they don't want to talk to you. Like you know, if you're just here to not keep it real and not try, that's not going to help either.
Yeah, and anything that you want to change needs to be identified early, because it's going to be identified in marriage.
It's going to come
anyway.
up.
So if you already start to identify it early, then even though you may not get a hold of it like you want to, I believe it doesn't take years off of, you know, what you can control in marriage, because there's certain things you can't control in marriage, like, you know, like the passing of her father. Like, you can't control and how that dynamic hits a relationship. So, you know, that's the positive I would add, is have an open mind with anything, especially premarital counseling.
Man, that is this is open my mindset to premarital counseling. You know, I've always had an open heart, open mind approach whenever it comes to just life in general. But like, this is something I'm going to really consider prior to taking that trip down the aisle.
Hey,
that's right.
One day,
good.
One day I'm gonna be up there, and then I'm gonna fly to LA with my wife, and I'm gonna be like, hey guys, let's go do stuff.
Let's go. Yes.
We MC your reception at your wedding.
Come on now.
Hey, don't play.
But that's a part of what we love doing, MCing.
We MCs.
MC a wedding myself. Funny enough, it was my best friend's wedding. Like they were it was awesome. Like it was awesome. It was my first like time doing that, being in that situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, well, dang, you know, being on the mic this is awesome. You know, y'all, I really thank y'all for your time, your energy, y'all patience. I do have a couple more questions left. But there's one.
Go ahead.
Cool. There's one thing that, you know, within this lifetime, if there's one thing that I've learned, is that identity. And honestly, for me, like, I'm actually straying away. This one is something that I've been thinking about as we've been talking, as I've been researching you guys. Whenever we introduce ourselves, right, a lot of us, we describe ourselves by what it is that we do, right? Hey, I interview people, or hey, you know, I kill pest control. I'm an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
But if you were to say, hey, Ryan is such and such, Noel is such and such, how would you describe your significant other? And I'm going to start with Noel.
So you want to speak on him first?
Yeah, I want you to tell me, who is the person next to you?
Well, so I go first to describe him.
Go ahead. Yep.
Ryan is one of the, and this is true, Ryan is one of the most genuinely kind people. He loves pretty much everyone. He loves being kind. He's selfless. He's goofy and corny. He's going to give you tons of dad jokes you didn't ask for and think it's funny. It's going to go over your head, and it's like, but he is so loving. And that when I see him, when he smiles, just no matter how irritated he makes me at times, I know that he means well. Yeah. He really always means well, and behind it is always love. That's the truth.
I like that. Ryan.
Love it. You are a loving person. You are.
Okay. Ryan, before we move forward, why hold on. Why did the bike fall over?
What?
Because it was too tired.
Hey! Wait, why did you look up? Wait. That is so. We have a bike over there in the corner, and we both look like, did it fall? You had us going. He gonna use that. Please give him.
That's why, look, we're friends now. I don't know what to tell you.
Something special about this brother when I met this.
Oh,
That's awesome. I love that.
Because when I was going through and I said, have a fit day, say, fam, I'm going. Yo.
I love
okay.
that.
My bad. Ryan.
She is literally the most loving, realist individual ever. Like, she genuinely will give her last, and not just financially. She'll give her last emotionally to lift someone up before herself. And that's how real she is, because when other people would cut someone off, she will give you a chance beyond a chance that a person should have. So she is like, and I say this, I know what I mean, but she's literally like Jesus to me. Like, she literally is, I know, but it comes, what I'm saying is that's how much compassion and empathy she has towards.
But Jesus don't cuss people out, babe. Like,
what I said, like,
you know,
but
Can I finish my
I want to be like Jesus.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like,
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Is like, that is her character. Her character is absolutely selfless and loving to the core, she's not shady. Like, she's honest. Like, and I'm telling you, like, it blows me away. Like, she is extremely, like, always self-aware of how she treats individuals. And I'm the first beneficiary of the most giving woman that I've ever met. And she is that. She's absolutely giving and lovely.
Thanks.
Man, I love this. Like, this is going down in history as the one that won my heart. I'm a bro kids and everything. All right.
Let's go, baby.
I'm like, yeah, it's like right there. I gotta chill. Hold on. I'm gonna find love one day. I got this.
Oh yeah.
Y'all, I want to get into the goal of this show, right? The reason why I do this, and that is philanthropy, garnering support from the audience and putting it towards a charity or nonprofit that you guys care about. What charity or nonprofit would you like to highlight today? Just give a shout out to, and why is the cause that it faces so important to you?
I would say the Variety Club. It is an organization, nonprofit that's nationwide, that gives back to students who are mentally or physically handicapped. Also, I want to give a second shout out because they kind of both go together. Ted Atcat, it's called TAPS. TAPS is an organization that helps percussionists all over the world that want to be professional percussionists, whether it's in a conservatory, an opera, a symphony, or just being musical educators. You have a lot of kids that need really good music education, and they partnered with schools like the Schweitzer Learning Center for students with autism, and how music brings everybody together. Yeah. And so that's a foundation I'm a board member of that's really close to my heart. And foundations like TAPS, along with Variety Club, are all about helping our youth, our disabled youth, have just as fair of a chance at life and education as possible.
Yeah. I love and respect that. So this video shall be dedicated to TAPS as well as the Variety Club. For those that are under the sound of our voices that are watching this in the future on YouTube, hearing this on streaming platforms, you guys definitely go show some love, dedicate, whether it be resources or your time. Please definitely go show them some love. Thank y'all so much for joining me this evening. I truly and honestly appreciate y'all. I honor y'all. I respect y'all relationship. I'm wishing nothing but life, peace, blessings as y'all move forward and as y'all grow. I just speak more of that into you guys because you guys are already amazing. You guys have given me a lot to hope for as it pertains to, you know, what can be found as far as using dating apps or just really just being out there and being open to what love can look like. Before we close out though, we got tradition. And this tradition is something that I love doing. We like to close with words of wisdom for the next generation. So I wonder, you know, what words, but this one, honestly speaking, is really speaking to our generation, right? What words of wisdom would you have for those giving up on the idea of dating?
Is to never give up. Is because if you do give up, then you know that you'll never be able to experience the beauty of not only dating, but having that grow into a wonderful marriage. And we're human, so we're created to relate to one another in different capacities, work, friendships, fraternity, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. But most importantly, I think the greatest relationship that is, or the most sacred one, is marriage. And it's absolutely fulfilling, and anything that you put your mind to and that you work at is so rewarding in the end. So I would say to never give up, and to always be open to the possibility of having what we all really want in the long run at the end of our lives, is to have that amazing love life, that relationship, that marriage that you desire. Yeah,
definitely don't ever give up. It doesn't matter how old you are at all. It doesn't matter if you're not where you want to be. You know, sometimes your goals can't be accomplished as an individual until you're married, until you have that person along with you. Because if life is great for you single, if you're already enjoying life, imagine how much better it would be to have the right person, not just anybody, but the right person to also celebrate that with you. There's just nothing like having your person. And again, just don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Have a lot of patience. Please be patient. I know in this age, we got gadgets, we got technology, we can have instant anything you want, Apple Pay, crypto, but again, it still takes time to meet that person. It still takes time to get to know that person. So be patient. And you said it already, because you're an amazing man, and I know this, and I'm honored that we got to sit with you. And you, my hubby, you know, need to stay in touch, because men need, you know what I'm saying, to know other great men, okay? And, you know, be open-minded. You know, and I'll say this from an online dating perspective specifically, you know, you can get on the app and be like, ugh, no, it's just, everybody on here. And then if you have a couple bad conversations, now all the men or the women are ruled out, you're complaining. Listen, it don't matter where you meet somebody. You still got to take the time to get to know them. And that takes patience. So be patient in your journey of love.
Yeah.
It takes patience. So you cannot go into it impatient. It just ain't gonna work. So be patient.
Most definitely. You guys, thank you again so much. You know, we're like I said, we're speaking more life and love into you all. And yeah, man, we definitely gotta stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm still trying to do muscle ups. I'm usually in the gym, but I'm still trying to figure out how to lift myself and then lift myself again. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you saw that post. I got you.
Already know I did. And I'm gonna be like, God dang, like I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I just got it. All right, yeah.
Got you.
I got you.
Please. But yeah, you guys, wish y'all nothing but the best. We're gonna have to run this one back.
Oh,
the line.
We gonna share you everywhere. This was so amazing.
Absolutely. So fun.
Same here, man. Same here. Y'all have a good one though.
You too. Bye.
Your love